was born and spent my early years in the Midwest. So I was born in a really small town in eastern Colorado and then moved to another small rural town in western Nebraska. Lived there till I was 16. My dad was an attorney and he was the landman for the local gas company. They bought some oil and gas exploration companies in East Texas when I was 16, and we were transferred to Longview, Texas. You know, kicking and screaming all the way at 16 to move like that. But actually was and here I am now. I'm in Texas. When I look back in my life, it really changed things for me. Coming to Texas, going to college in Texas, starting my career in Dallas, I just was exposed to a much bigger world. I went to college in Texas at the University of North Texas, and I majored in business and accounting and started my career in Dallas and started in public accounting and got lured away by one of my clients, which was this little airline called Southwest Airlines with about 75 airplanes, and spent 25 years there and did pretty much every finance role and was with the company from, $800 million in revenue to over $17 billion. So it was a incredibly fun experience with a growing company. Spent my last 9 years as CFO and was treasurer before that. I learned a lot at Southwest. I had some incredible leaders. I consider Herb Kelleher a mentor, and he truly loved people. And it's every person, very egalitarian, whether sweeping the floor or a fellow executive. And what I really have always tried to take some of that in terms of getting to really know employees, a little bit about them, because you could be working with somebody that you didn't work with directly, but the fact that you remembered their child's name or their cat's name, and you could, spark up a conversation in the hall. It was just incredible. It just makes people feel good. Gosh, it was a few years ago. I'm on the board of a company that's based in Michigan, and so I go to Detroit, fly up to Detroit at least 4 times a year. And I was flying up to Detroit one day, and I happened to be sitting next to a gentleman, and we started talking, and he was heading to Detroit to go visit his mother. And I started talking about my parents, and we just kind of hit it off and found out we lived pretty close to each other. And that person was Tim Mallett. He said to me, well, you'd be really great on our board. And so, we said our goodbyes and left the airport, and I didn't really think anything about it. And then a couple months later, I got a call from Tim, and he wanted to see if I would meet him and Steve Ailey for lunch. And he talked to me about the organization, and I met some other folks, and that's really how it all started on an airplane. Delta Airlines flights. They're all different. I've got 3 different public companies in different industries, but with great management teams, good business models, diverse other board members to work with. The other side was I wanted to really have time to give back and on organizations that aren't necessarily out to make money and so forth. And so that's really with Forefront Living. I'm also on the board of regents for the University of North Texas. Both of these organizations, I believe in the mission and the values that both organizations have. And so that's really those are the things that I looked at. And then the other thing is you just have to look at the calendar and the time commitments and make sure that you don't sign up for more than you can deliver. Even though it's a very different business than Southwest Airlines, there's so many things that remind me of Southwest Airlines. And, and for those who don't know the history of Southwest, it's got a very strong culture and a very strong value system, making sure that our residents and our hospice patients are, treated with dignity and treated like family. I think the organization has just advanced that culture. And I think that's really, really important. And one of the drivers why I am on this board, hopefully helping it fulfill its mission and grow and continue to do so. just starting out, we all have a plan. We think we know what we want to do, but very rarely do things just transpire exactly as you planned out. And be willing to accept that. I'd say for myself personally, um, I took what I thought were risks along the way. I was really in a comfortable position and had opportunities come up, asked to do things that weren't really on that plan that I had, and I ended up taking those risks and getting a little out of my comfort zone. Best thing I ever did, because it really opened up new opportunities. I would have never transpired to become the CFO if I hadn't have zigged and zagged along the way. Relationships are so important. You meet people along in your career, and they might be people you work with or outsiders, but 5 years later when something comes up, they think of you and they give you a call. And so it's just, you just don't know when things are going to transpire from relationships, but they really are, I think, a key to opening up a lot of doors, now and in the future. I love to exercise, love to travel, spending time with my family. So I have two children who are both married, and hopefully someday some grandkids. It's the golden rule. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Being kind and empathetic to all people just goes such a long way.